Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Welcome to the Accucare 2022 preseason All-Monmouth County football team presented by the Shore Football Report. I want to first start by thanking Accucare for being the Shore Football Report's title sponsor and also sponsoring the all-county football teams, Monmouth and Ocean County. And it's very important to them that they want to be active with all the athletes in the Shore Conference. They are currently working with all athletes from all different sports, football, basketball, baseball, girls, guys, all that are going there, rehabilitating, recovery, state-of-the-art equipment. They are first class, fantastic, and we are so honored to be in partnership with such a great business. So during this whole show, all the contact information will be listed. Please contact via email, via go to their website, phone call, or even visit. It is highly recommended by me, Rob Davis of the Shore Football Report, to go to Accucare and join their squad and get better on and off the field. Now, are you ready for the All-Monmouth County football team? I'm ready. I'm going to present the first team. I'm going to talk about it. Then I'm going to present the second, third, fourth, and fifth without me talking. I'm sure you'll be sick of me hearing me talk, but that's that. All right. I'm excited. I am so proud of this whole first, second, third, fourth, fifth team, and I want to show you guys it. You ready? Let's talk All-Monmouth County football. I'm going to talk a little bit about the first team football players for the All-Monmouth County team on offense and defense. And then I'll show the second, third, fourth, and fifth teams. Just let it run through. All right. So here we go. I'm very impressed with the student athletes here on the All-Monmouth County football team. There is a bunch of guys that are already committed to high-level academic schools. And that says a lot of these football players. It really does. So let's talk about these guys. At quarterback, I have from Ocean Township, Tyler Douglas, 6'1", 195, commit to Temple University, and he's elevated his game to the point where he's a dude. I got a chance to watch him in the 7-on-7s in person, and he just carries himself with a lot of confidence, throws the ball real well, and he's going to have a big breakout year. Already committed to Temple University, and he's going to be able to just relax, have fun, and show his athletic ability and lead Ocean to a very big season. The other quarterback we have is Manasquan's Brett Patton, 6'2", 185. Just an incredible quarterback in the pocket. He led his team last year to the state semifinals, broke 2 school records at Manasquan. I think it was touchdown passes in the season and I think yardage. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but he broke 2 school records, and he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks, not only in the shore, but in the state. Good pocket quarterback. Asbury Park's Jason Brown, 6'5", 190, senior, 4-year starter, 1,000-yard passer every single season. Very, very fluid in the pocket. I mean, he stands in a pocket and he waits for the receivers to get open, knowing he's still going to get drilled, and does a great job. He looked very good in the 7-on-7s at Monmouth, and he's a quarterback. At running back, Raritan Kieran Falzone, a 3-year starter in Coach Petruzzi's offense there, and just a real dynamic runner, one of the top guys out there, deceptively quick, really is. 5'11", 200-pound senior, led the team to the state championship game last year and is focused on winning a state championship at Raritan. The other running back is a senior, Monmouth Regional, Julian Jones, 5'10", 180, led Monmouth to a division championship last year. He's back. He's a multi-purpose running back, meaning he can catch the football and run the rock inside the tackles. I really like his multiple aspect of the running back game. The other running back at Red Bank Catholic, a senior, Torin Harmon, 5'9", 195. Last year, he had to sit out 4 games because he transferred, and then he started slow and then got right back into the whole mix. Now that he's playing right from day one, look for Torin to be one of the top running backs in the short conference without a doubt. Strong and very, very fast. Good football player, and he's going to have a breakout season this year. Wide receiver, Naj Rahman, 5'11", 190 senior. He's a commit to Brown University. Says a lot about him, what he does off the field. Just hits the academics, and he is an exceptional wide receiver. He might be one of the most polished wide receivers. And for a guy who's rated so high for me, might be a bit might not get as much credit as he deserves, because there's other receivers out there that are doing all these things, but he's the most steady receiver in the short conference, without a doubt, and he's a commit to Brown University. He is a big-time wide receiver there. The other wide receiver is a junior, 2024, Emmanuel Ross, 6'2", 190 at Red Bank Catholic. And he was creating such a buzz on the recruiting path. He got a couple big time offers, and he is a good looking kid that looks like a college Division 1A wide receiver. He will be a big time recruit next season after he leads Red Bank Catholic to hopefully another successful season like he did last year. But Emmanuel Ross really did well in his camps and his workouts, and was very impressive because he passes the eyeball test, Emmanuel Ross, and he's got a bright future. He really does. So Emmanuel Ross, look for him, that high flying junior. More St. John Vianney's 2023 Kyle Varese, 6'3", 180, 6 foot 185. I kept hearing so many things about him from all his workouts and where he goes, and 7-on-7s, and I got a chance to see him in person a couple times, and he's very impressive. He's got strong hands, and that's what I like about him. When the ball's in the air and he touches it, it's his. He just holds onto that football and does a great job. A great possession receiver, but he is deceptively quick. But he's a very good football player. St. John Vianney's Kyle Varese, 6 foot 185, wide receiver. The other wide receiver, Ryan Mendez, 6 foot 1, 200 pounds. I think I do a lot of research on a lot of people, but when I met him in person, oh my God, he could pass for a tight end on a high school level. He is a big target at Marlboro. I like him because he plays defense too at outside linebacker, but he is a big, strong wide receiver. In the red zone, he is one of the best out there. Ball goes in the air, a big, strong dude going to the football, and just like Varese, he's got great hands. When a ball hits his hands, he's catching it. Big, strong target wide receiver that could probably be on this team on the defense too, Ryan Mendez. Tight end from Howell, Damian Padilla. Remember that name, 6'4", 230, senior, I like him. A very athletic kid, a basketball player who still is still growing into his body. Very athletic kid that could play the perimeter. Howell will use him a little bit, playing wide receiver out flex because they do have another good tight end. Um, but Damian Padilla in the red zone is a big target. He's going to own that area. Jump balls, those 50-50 balls he's going to come up with. And he's very athletic, like I said. If they use him in the box, getting down the middle and playing with that safety, it could be good times for Howell. Offensive lineman, Red Bank Catholic's Tyler Burnham, a junior, 6'5", 290, already has a couple big-time Division 1A offers, and he is high on the recruiting list for many, many people. And he's up for a big season right here with a lot of recruiting eyes on him, and also a successful football team in the making too. Again this year, Tyler Burnham. The other O lineman, Mattawan Nick Windsor, 6'5", 275. He may even be 280, 285 with that. But Nick's a commit from Columbia to Columbia, an athletic kid that could dunk a basketball. I heard he ran a 5'140" at one of the camps. And think of that, a kid that size, 6'5", 275, running like a 5'140". That was coming from a college coach. I heard that. But he's a guy that jumped on the radar and went, wow. And there's always those kids that do it. And Nick was one of those guys that all of a sudden people said, wow, look at this guy. He's a big-time guy. Good to see that he committed to a high academic school at Columbia. Red Bank Catholics 2024, Lorenzo Portella, 6'2", 275, tough, physical football player. And he's a junior. One of the best around. Led the team to a state championship last year, two-way starter, and now here he is, a junior, a two-way starter returning for big things right there. Lorenzo Portella is going to be, again, also another guy that's going to get a lot of, I think, interest after this season or maybe during the season because he's got the resume and he is physical. The other lineman, Middletown South, 2023, Thomas White, 6'4", 280. I love his film. And I love when I seen him in person. He is a tough road grader at the line of scrimmage. Physical, run blocker. Loves to take people off their feet, and he's just physical in Coach Antonucci's offense. I like him. A big, strong, 6'4", 280 guy. Keeps his feet moving on contact and works his tail off. That guy right there is going to be on tips of a lot of colleges too. Now, the guy I really, really like is this center. This center from Ocean, Nick Caruso, 6'2", 280, big, strong, physical, smart. All the checks or all the boxes are checked off with this guy. Nick Caruso will lead the 2024 class by the end of the season with in recruiting. A lot of coaches are going to be high on this guy. He's got the resume. He's got the reputation right now out there. So a lot of colleges are going to be looking at him, and they're very interested in Nick Caruso, and especially as a center. And that's a position that a lot of schools would love to have, a guy that can snap like that. And he could also play tackle too. Yes, he could. Middletown South is blessed to have another lineman, Tyler Adonisio, a 2023, 6'1", 260-pound O-lineman. And Tyler is also very aggressive and athletic, can do a lot of things. Good pass pro guy, very strong, very, very smart football player, intelligent, and has good feet. That's a very good mix to have somebody there, and that's why he's on the All-Monmouth County first team offense. Now, here's a kid. I put him as an athlete from Long Branch, Ernest Reeve, 6'2", 185. Oh, my God. He could be as a quarterback. He could be as a defensive back. He could be anywhere. That's why I put him as an athlete. I didn't put him with the quarterbacks because he doesn't have a resume yet as those quarterbacks. But boy, oh boy, he is as athletic as anybody I've seen this summer. And I heard so much about him. They said, you got to see this guy. You got to see this guy. And I saw him at his couple 7-on-7s. And boy, oh boy, is he athletic. And he, like I said, he could play defensive back. He was a corner. He's now going to be quarterback, and he's going to be running the football at an empty and passing and doing all that stuff. Remember that name, Ernest Reavy, a junior, 2024, 6'2", 185, will be one of the top football players for the next 2 years at Long Branch with Chad King right there. And the kicker to end the first team offense, All-Monmouth County, is kicker from Manalapan, 2023, Michael Calton, 6'3", 185, an outstanding weapon for Coach Lepori at Manalapan. For a kicker that can kick the ball into the end zone on kickoffs, and at any time when Manalapan enters the 25-yard line, they're in field goal range, is a threat. Calton is one of the top kickers in the nation and was just ranked at a national camp, and I think he's in the top 20 as for kickers in the nation, and there's no questions there. He's got a great reputation, and he's got a great leg. He is a big-time threat at Manalapan, the kicker. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first team offense, All-Monmouth County. Here's the preseason All-Monmouth County first team defense. I'm excited about them. A lot of athletes in one county. So let's go. Defensive lineman, 2023 Middletown North, Jack Lopez, 6'5", 270. Now, Jack is a commit to Harvard. He is an exceptional football player, dominating both sides of the football, physical presence, just got a tough competitor, and he's off the field a gentleman, taking care of his books, going to Harvard. I'm so happy to hear about that. What a great combination, great athletic ability and also academics. Gets him a scholarship to Harvard right there. He's one of the top linemen in the short conference. He could be an offensive lineman, defensive lineman in the beginning of the season or at the end of the season. He'll be on all those all-star teams. You can almost guarantee that. Jack Lopez is a stud. The other D lineman is Neptune's DeAndre Banks, 6'2", 240. I know he's playing linebacker this year and all that, but he's a hand in the dirt guy. All right. I think or should I say hand in the turf. All right. But he's an edge guy. He's an edge guy. Physical, closing speed is great. He's a ball hawk. He goes after the guy with the ball, and he's physical. I love him. He was at our showcase. Great kid. I loved his character. Hardworking kid. And he's one of those guys that are kind of under the radar, but people know about him. He's like in between. Well, the Shore Football Report knows about him. DeAndre Banks is an exceptional football player who's got a high ceiling, and some colleges can be real lucky when they get him by the end of the season. D lineman, 2023 Oceans, Shane Garrett, 6'2", 235. I like him as a D lineman. I know he plays tight end. He plays H-back. He plays flex wide receiver. All of the above. He's a big, strong, physical, athletic kid. I love watching his camps. He was just running these routes and catching football. And I said, that's a good-looking D tackle that's going to get a lot of offers by the end of the season because he's athletic. You want those athletic guys and those big body frames playing close to the football because he's going to be more athletic than the other side of the football. I really like Shane Garrett as a D tackle who will be playing on the edge as a DN. They're basically, Coach Klein will put him all over to free him up or to create mismatches on the other team. Shane Garrett is one of the most athletic football linemen in the short conference, without a doubt with that. Defensive lineman 2023 from Red Bank Catholic, Aiden Donahue, 6'1", 230, was a D tackle for most part last year. They moved him to DN. And why? Because he's athletic, he's football savvy, and he's a go-getter. Led the team last year to a state championship for non-public B, and they got a lot of guys back. And why they're excited again is Aiden Donahue. Why are the number one team in the coaches' top 20? Because guys like Aiden Donahue, physical football player that is going to be tough to move at the defensive end for Red Bank Catholic. Defensive lineman, 2023 Manalapan's Artem Renatichuk, 6'1", 230. I always have a tough time pronouncing his name. Even when he came on my talk show, it took me, I had to write it down the way it sounded. I apologize for that, but I'm not going to apologize for saying some great things about him. Just an athletic defensive tackle. An athletic defensive tackle, very, very strong football player that quick off the ball, dominating, and you need that, especially playing in that division, in the American division. But Artem is a tough, hard-nosed football player with such a big ceiling for recruiting, and he could fill out even more. He's got the frame to put more weight on. He actually looks taller than 6'1". He probably is 6'2", maybe 6'3", but he is a physical specimen. But I like his film where he's quick off the ball and disrupting on the other side of the line of scrimmage right there. Middletown North defensive lineman 2023, Peter Dempsey, 6'2", 230. And I'm smiling. Why? Because if there's anybody out there that is just rising on the recruiting charts, it's Peter Dempsey. I was getting calls from college coaches saying, "What's your take on this kid?" And I just kept hearing he just won people over with his work ethic, his athletic ability, big strong kid. Now he's got Lopez on the other side. Now he's here, maybe kind of overshadowed in one aspect of different things, but not anymore. He is now being looked at by many schools and colleges. Very athletic, plays tight end. He plays tight end, defensive end. He could be a tight end on the All-Star team too. Just I really like him, and I like the things that I heard about him. And when I got to know him, I liked him even more. A gentleman off the field. That's what you want. Peter Dempsey is an athletic, high-rising recruit who is doing a great job wherever he's at because he's winning people over. Cooper Bunnell, a 2024 D lineman from Rumson, 6'1", 250. Surprise, surprise, Rumson. Rumson graduated a lot of guys, but they didn't graduate Cooper. Cooper is tough against the run, a tough defender to push around at Rumson's stingy defense with Coach Schulte. I like him a lot. He's a bulldozer. You're not going to move him around at all. Very well coached, very technically sound, and he's going to be a big part of the reloading process at Rumson. Cooper Bunnell. I think he might even be playing offense in a two-platoon system that they had. It says a lot about him. Defensive lineman from Shore, 2024, would be Jackson Whitaker, 6'4", 215. He's a guy I took a special interest in. When I was coaching at Barnegat, I seen him, and I said he looked like one of my athletes that I coached that went on and is now playing and starting at Holy Cross for 4 years, is Sean Morris. Except this kid is thicker. He looks identically like him. His game style is just like him. And Sean Morris was a kid. If he was an inch and a half, 2 inches taller, would be playing in the Big Ten without a doubt. Without a doubt, he would have. This kid here is 6'4" and 215. So what I'm trying to be thinking now is if he resembles Sean Morris, and he's bigger than Sean Morris, well, then he might have that potential to play at that level. He's looking really good in his scrimmages. He really elevated his game. And last year he had 10 sacks. He is a physical kid, well-respected, full kid, comes up to you, shakes your hand, greets people the right way, wins you over, first impression off the field. Add that to his athletic ability, and he's a junior. I think he is going to be a big-time Division I football player somewhere. Somewhere he is, and that's going to be a good one. Jackson Whitaker, a junior from Shore. Linebacker, 2024 from Red Bank Catholic, Davin Bruton, 6'1", 225. He's like the Ray Lewis out there. I mean, he's a big, strong, athletic kid who started last year as a sophomore for the state champion, Red Bank Catholic, Casey's. Just a physical kid. I saw him in the 7-on-7s. He carries himself, like a very intimidating linebacker. Gentleman, again, another gentleman off the field. Just a big, strong kid. It looks like that he put some more size on, and look for him to be. I like him because he's not just a run stopper. He can play the pass drops and do all that stuff right there, but he brings it. That kid brings it. He's got the look. He's got the eyeball test. He's got a couple offers as we speak going into his junior year. So it's sitting pretty right now. He's got a nice little resume for his recruiting right now, and he's going to have a good season. One of the top linebackers, not only in the shore but in the state of New Jersey. Other linebacker, Colin Gallagher from Middletown South, 2024, 6'2", 210. When I sat and talked with Coach Antonucci last year, he told me about a guy who was Colin to look. He's going to be one of the better players, trust me. And like I told Coach Antonucci this year when he came to talk to me, you were right. You were right about him. Boy, oh boy, coming off the edge. Just a quick guy coming off the edge. Very, very quick closing speed. Physical, strong, and tough. And he's tough. And he was a sophomore last year. So now he comes in as a junior, as one of the top linebackers in Monmouth County, and there's no questions at all with that. Also will play offense at running back, I believe. Colin Gallagher is a guy that nobody else is going to be surprised about because he's on the map and he's a tough one and he's one of the better ones for the next 2 years. Linebacker from St. John Vianney, 2023, Christian Buchanan, 5'10", 210. And we all know about his brother. We all know about his brother who went to Delaware. But this kid right here is something special too. This kid right here is a very, very aggressive, and he goes 100 miles an hour all the time. We'll be playing running back too this year. Yes, playing running back too. So they're going to use, Coach Pappin's going to use his motor that goes 100 miles an hour, 24/7, on both sides of the football. Physical. I don't think he wants to run around anybody. He wants to run through people. And that's what I liked about his film. And I kept hearing that from other coaches and all that. He plays hard to the whistle and he is physical. And that guy is an intimidating football player no matter where he's at, offense or defense. But he's on here for his linebacker play. Defensive back from Red Bank Catholic, 2023, Sabino Portella, 5'11", 185, a commit to UNC for wrestling. That's incredible. All right. So he's now going to UNC to wrestle, and he can relax and play football and hopefully lead Red Bank Catholic to another state championship like he did last year. Sabino's a guy, when you do these all-star teams and you do your player rankings, you go, well, why isn't he at running back? Why isn't he here? Well, he could be anywhere. He could be a running back. He could be a safety. I like him at safety because he used that wrestling instincts for leverage and tackling. I like his finesse where he can cover half the field and cover two. He's a physical kid who's athletic, and that's a rare mix, and he's a very, very tough kid. Very, very tough kid. And there's no mistake why he's one of the top football players in the Shore Conference, and that's why he's on there right there. Defensive back from Long Branch, 2023, Shamar Williams, 6'1", 180. And I heard so much about him from 7-on-7 coaches all over. He said, you got to see Shamar. He's a shutdown guy. I like him at corner. I know he plays safety. I like him at corner, and we talked about this, him and I, but I think he is a corner, even though he plays safety here. He could be a shutdown corner. A wide receiver. And he brings the talk. I know he likes to talk and do all that stuff, and he backs it up. I do like the swag, which he was talking about. He goes after it, and he challenges the other team, and he likes to elevate his play to his expectations. And Shamar is a good guy. He had a pick for an interception last year, and he's one of those guys that can turn it real quick, the field position, with an interception or a fumble recovery and take it to the house. I like him. He's dynamic, and he's going to help Long Branch, is Coach King, in his first year, have a successful season, without a doubt. Defensive back, 2023, Long Branch, Saku Kamu, 6'1", 180, may be pound for pound the toughest and best football player in the Shore. Yeah, can you imagine that? And people don't talk about that. He is a quiet football player that on and off the field won't say a word, but on the football field he goes crazy. He could be a running back anywhere, and if he got the ball 20 times, he would have 1,500 yards. But he does everything. He blocks. He plays defense. He just, they spread the ball around. Saku Kamu could run for 1,000 to 1,500 yards in anybody else's backfield at any time. He is that type of player, an exciting, electric kid. And like I said, he's very, very quiet. He will not talk a lot. When he was on the talk show with me, he was very, very quiet, but very respectful. Very impressed with him, young man. Now, Rumpson's 2023, Boo Kemler, 5'11", 175, safety. I mean, a Rumpson defensive back, you always got to consider them with their tradition. But this kid right here is a standout player, and he's going to lead Rumpson. Defensive backs, another year, played high level. They were one of the top teams last year, and he was in the defensive backfield. A ball hawk, a smart football player. Coach Schulte told me, and they like his football skills. Ball's in the air, he goes after it, and he's also physical. So don't mistake that him being just athletic, but he is very physical with that. Defensive back from Middletown South, 2024, Jake Zawakal, 5'11", 180. I could have put him as an athlete because that's what he is. And people are going to start morphing into that. He's an athlete because he's playing quarterback now at Middletown South too. But he also played defensive back last year, had a pick for an interception. I think it was against Middletown North. He is athletic. He also can kick field goals. He can do anything. And you're going to see on these all-star teams in the preseason and next after the season, the postseason, he can go anywhere in the slot. So when we do those teams, where are we putting Sawako? Where are we going to put him? Because he's got to be somewhere. He is a first teamer. Without a doubt, he is that type of kid. Excellent football player. I like his people skills. Very confident kid. I mean, just one of those kids when you talk to, you go, okay, he's got it together. He's got it together. That's a leader. I think he's a leader. And playing a quarterback at Middletown South, you got to be when you're playing there. But very athletic kid at defensive back. I like him there. He could have been anywhere on this team right there, but rightfully so. He's on first team from Middletown South, Jake Sawako. Marlboro, safety, Matt Cassidy, 5'10", 187. He's a senior. Ronnie Lott of defensive backs. That's just what comes to my head when I tell coaches out there, what do you think of Cassidy? Well, he's physical. He wants to hit. He must bug the coaches when they don't have their pads on because he's a physical. He sees a body out there, and he has to just make contact. So I like him as a Ronnie Lott type of football player. He's going to play running back too. But he is physical as they are. As a sophomore, he had over 100 tackles. Just bound to have another good season. And that I think if he has one more big season like he did as a sophomore, college coaches will be knocking on the door for Matt Cassidy, a big physical 5'10", 187 football player with that. Defensive back, Dan Accucare from Raritan, a senior, 6', 177. And let me tell you something about him. Injured, he broke his collarbone last year, missed a big portion of the season, and then came back, I believe, 5 or 6 games to help lead his football team, Raritan, to the state championship game. And, when you get hurt like that and you miss all those type of games, you're kind of like under the radar and people kind of forget about you. Everybody's in game speed and reporters are kind of got other names on their list all the time. But Dan really finished strong, played really, really well on both sides of the football. And at Raritan, they'd go to platoon, but yet he was playing both ways. Says a lot about him. Athletic, quick, and at the safety position, he's tough. Little undersized, but he is physical. Coming up and making a hit. All right, you wouldn't think that, but he is. And as a slot guy in their offense, can take a pitch at any time and score at any time. I like he's got great feet, great hands, and he's explosive. But what I really like about him is that he's back in the beginning of the season. So you're going to have him right from the beginning of the season to showcase his skills. And the guy who's going to be smiling the most is Coach Petruzzi at Raritan. He'll be smiling because he's got Danny Calipari, knock on wood, healthy right in the beginning of the season with that. And we're going to end it right here with the return specialist, Jameer Howard, a 6'1", 185 senior who could be a running back. He could be a defensive back. I like him as a returned specialist, and you're going to hear me talk later about him in a week about his being a multi-back, all-purpose type guy. That's what he is. He could do anything. He can do anything, but I like how he can change the field position at any time when the ball's in the air on kicks. When you got these punters that are kicking the ball and getting that ball off, and then they got to worry about a running back with his athletic ability catching it and doing some damage, he's a threat. He's a threat in the run game. He's a threat in the pass game where Coach Sellers' offense. He can catch the football. He can do a lot of different things, and he presents himself as a very intelligent football player, and that he is. And he's very respectful, and that's what I like about him. Just a total, he's got all the boxes checked. A good football player, good character, smart. He's going to go somewhere, I think, big time with colleges. That is the first team defense. We just did the first team offense. There's a lot of football players that I want to get. I know I always say I play Santa Claus in preseason. Preseason is about getting a lot of names out there, and then it dwindles down with smaller slots at the end of the season. This is about letting people know who's out there. It's like a watch list. I make it a first team, second team, and all that stuff. Have fun with it. All these guys are well deserved. And there's also guys on the second, third, fourth, fifth team that maybe I probably might have put one slot lower, whatever. That's subjective. That's up to you guys. I'm going to show the other teams. I'm going to let it run. I'm not going to speak on the other teams. And then at the end of the season, I'll do a whole spiel where I'll talk about most of the guys on the first, second, third team with that. All right. I'm Coach Davis, the Shore Football Report. Enjoy the All-Monmouth County football preseason football teams that we selected. Enjoy.